last-minute shakeup at 5:30 a.m., laundry situation not good. And when your focus is on helping your clients, it's easy to forget about yourself. But NASM knows trainers.
Morning, Ryan. It's okay.
And staying in front of the day isn't always as
Thanks,
simple
Ryan.
as 1,
What's
2,
up?
3. So when the unexpected has you pressing pause,
What's the latest on creatine?
I'm going to get back to you on that.
let NASM1 help you press play. Visit NASM.org to sign up for a membership today.
You're listening to Random Fit with hosts Wendy Batts and Ken Miller, winner of a Gold Markham Award for Digital Media.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Random Fit. I am Wendy Batts here with my co-host and friend, as always, Ken Miller. How are you?
I'm great, Wendy. How you doing?
I am good. Today's topic, actually, I want to tell you how this came about. My son was at the grocery store and was asking me to buy a seaweed snack and said that he heard great things about it from some of his classmates. And I'm like, what? And so when I brought it up to Ken, Ken's like, yeah, and he eats some crazy seaweed salad. So today's topic, we're going to talk about health, fitness, and seaweed. And actually, once I started looking into all the benefits of it, we thought we would share it with you guys in case you were unaware, like I was, about the benefits of seaweed other than just in your makeup products.
Yes, and I am that guy when I go out to Japanese or sushi restaurant. I order the wakame salad, seaweed salad, which nice face, Wendy. The I'll even when we go to Hawaii, when we go, not that often, but that's one of the first things we do. We go to the local grocery store and we'll buy a container of seaweed salad. It's much cheaper than if you get it into the restaurant. But Wendy, seaweed has been a part of my life for a very long time, and your son's choice in selecting little seaweed wrap as a snack. It's a good snack, Wendy. Have you tried it? Have you actually?
Oh yes, I tried it. I would say he tried it too. It really didn't go much further than trying it.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't really fit my palate and didn't really fit his either. However, when we did start doing some research on it, I'm like, okay, we got to start from the very scratch. Like, let's talk about this growing industry. I did not realize that seaweed farming, which is a thing, has grown to an impressive 7% annually over the last decade. So that's first and foremost. And like, it requires no fresh water, no pesticides, hence that's a big thing. No fertilizers. That's obviously a big thing. And it also helps reduce ocean acidification, as well as supports marine biodiversity. So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, there's something about these farming, seaweed farming places and the benefits of what it does, not only to your digestive system, but obviously to the environment.
Yeah, and one of the things that I came across was when it comes to capturing carbon dioxide, right? And this is one of the big reasons why we want to have trees, we want to have brush, we want to have plants overall when we're on land, right? Because this is what takes the carbon dioxide out of the air. So when you think about the Amazon and the rainforests out there, I mean, that's one of the bigger areas on this planet that will actually take and pull carbon dioxide out of the air. And you can say the same thing about coral reefs, but seaweed does the same thing. And when it comes to that, it does that more than what it does more underwater to pull carbon dioxide out of the water. And you mentioned already the ocean acidification and affecting that. But what we are talking about now is just pulling carbon dioxide out of the water as trees do on land. So I thought that was one of the bigger points to that point, as far as what it does for the actual environment.
Yep. And when I looked at when you started talking about that too, I'm like, huh. So I'm like typing, looking at different research articles. I did find one that said that a single acre of seaweed can absorb up to 20 times more CO2 than land-based plants. Like you just said, I'm like, wow. Okay. So 1 acre can absorb that much more. And it's just, it was fascinating. And then of course I was digging deeper, like, okay, are there certain countries that seaweed is, it's like, people want to eat it. They grow it, they want to eat it, because I'm still on the struggle bus with it. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying. And like I said, I went as soon as we started doing this, as soon as he asked, we purchased it. But there are top 5 countries where seaweed farming occurs the most, and they're China, Indonesia, South Korea, the Philippines, so your people, and Japan.
They're all my people, Wendy. They're all my
people, but you know.
And from that standpoint, those 5 countries alone account for 80% of seaweed production. So, you know, these 5 countries alone mean a lot to the seaweed industry when it comes to all that. And each one of those countries, innovation and the techniques and actually how they do their work as far as farming seaweed, actually, that's where a lot of the growth in tech actually comes from when it comes to farming seaweed. But also, this is where, when you mentioned seaweed and makeup, food, cosmetics, biofuels, and agricultural applications, they definitely have their place when you look at what these countries have been able to do to capitalize off of this one crop. So definitely these guys are doing a lot and taking advantage of what natural resources they have available to them. So, and then the last one is just when we talk about seaweed and its growth in farming. I mean, this is just, it's there, right? It just grows, and I mean, as far as the rate of growth, its ability to replenish itself as fast as it does. I mean, Wendy, when have you gone to a beach and not have, you know, some kind of seaweed? Just, I mean, it's all over the place, right? And it's just growing wild. But it provides job. It's great for economic development for those countries. It actually contributes to conservation of the environment, as we said, with the pulling carbon dioxide. Excuse me. And then it does align with global sustainability goals. So when it comes to the concern about CO2, so yeah. a lot of big things, more than I realized when it came to what seaweed and seaweed farming has become as an industry. Like we said, Wendy, at the beginning of this episode, I mean, year over year, 7% growth, which that's growth, right?
It's growth. It's something for sure. But you know, when my son asked about trying this for a snack, and I was like, you know what, if you want to gut it and this is something that you love, then I absolutely support that. And again, I was looking, okay, well, let's look at some of these key nutrition benefits. Like what is it about seaweed? Well, here you go. Did you know that seaweed was rich in vitamins A, C, E, K, and B complex? So think about this. Vitamin A, well, what does that support? Well, your vision, your immune function, and your skin health. Super important, right? So check. Then you look at, okay, vitamin C. We all know that that's really good for our immunity and immune function. Of course, that's a big thing too, and iron absorption. So people that are anemic or people that obviously need to have iron too, or that are on the lower side, again, vitamin C plays a crucial role in that, especially absorbing it within the system. Then you have vitamin E. So again, think about antioxidants, protection, supports the cell health. So check that. And vitamin K. So vitamin K, blood clotting and bone health, super important. And then B complex. So we always hear people are low in B complex. So let's talk about what that does. It aids in, really important for us, energy production, super, super important. And then, of course, we're also thinking about it and the nervous system function. So those are just the vitamins alone. And Ken, I know you're going to talk about some of the minerals that are in it, but I'm like, man, this really is... I got to find a way. And I don't know if you just eat it over time, you're going to develop a taste. And I love crunchy things. This was crunchy. It was not soggy, which I was surprised when I took it out. I'm like, wait, you can break it. And it was crunchy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wrap it around some rice and some Spam. Boom.
Ew.
Spam. You've
What
never
is
heard of
wrong
Spam?
with you, Ken? I
You've
can do
never
the
heard of
rice, but
Spam Masubi? Oh man,
no.
Wendy, the things you just have to you have to just try it.
You must enlighten me, apparently. I'm coming to your house. Tell Stacy I'm coming, and we're going to have some spam and
We're
soup.
gonna Spam Masubi. Now you
And then
go
I
to
will take you to dinner at a steakhouse when we're
and then
done. Because I'll be
go eat
starving, by the way.
steak, potatoes, and asparagus. Uh, so the other benefits, just really quick. I mean, this is not a nutrition course, but the other minerals that are contained within seaweed. You, of course, have calcium, perfect for bone growth and development, magnesium for muscle function, energy metabolism, and then you have antioxidants. Again, just that helps with overcoming the stresses of life and stress of exercise if we're exercising. So um, it's also rich in iodine, which is very important for thyroid function, number one, and um, moderation. If when you consume this in moderation, helps over. But you have to watch out for overconsumption because again, if you have thyroid issues, iodine can be an issue for you. But again, acts as a prebiotic, right? So it's again helping with gut health and digestion. But and here's there's it's not all rainbows and puppy dog tails. You do have to when it comes to seaweed, it's not everything is good from the standpoint that you do have to watch where you source it from because it's in the ocean, right? You have to watch out for heavy minerals that might be in that region of the world. So looking at where your seaweed comes from is going to be very, very, very important because now, again, it absorbs carbon dioxide, it absorbs whatever is around it. So when we talk about contaminants and heavy metals, just know that where you get your seaweed will also be a reflection of what it's going to be exposed to. So going to a trusted source or a brand is going to be something that's important when it comes to monitoring and minimizing the risk of taking in something that could taste very, very delicious, right, Wendy? But but on the other side, just making sure you're not taking in getting a brand and risk exposing yourself and taking in the heavy metals that might be a part of that crop.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking, like you said, we're talking a lot about the nutrition. We're talking a lot about, what it can do for you in general. But then if you want to kind of dive deeper and you think about it on the fitness side, considering this is a lot of what we talk about on this show, there are so many different benefits that I did not know about. Like first and foremost, the heart health and what it does for that, because, it can help lower your LDL cholesterol, which most people need. Instead of taking a pill, maybe you should try that because the antioxidants within the seaweed, it helps improve blood vessel function and reduce inflammation. So a lot of people are inflamed from the inside out. And I think that's one thing sometimes we take for granted. And people are like, oh, if you take different types of supplements, this is going to help. Maybe you can do that more in a natural way. Magnesium, potassium help regulate your blood pressure. And then, of course, cardiovascular wellness was a big one. The one that got me probably most is that digestion support. Like you slightly mentioned it very quickly, but what it does for the gut, your gut health. And I mean, when you think about how it improves the nutrient absorption and your overall immune function, that's going to be super important. And of course, it helps with constipation and bloating. And think about the athletes with higher caloric needs and that have sensitive stomachs. And that I've actually had a basketball player that was very careful on what he ate because he had a digestion problem and a different syndrome that we actually had to look at. And his diet had to be very specific. But one of the things too that seaweed can help support are some individuals that have some of these digestive problems. They should talk to their doctor about it, see if it would actually help.
And I think just to back up, I'm processing everything that we're talking about right now. And I just want to make sure that the listeners of the Random Fit podcast, and if you are listening to both Wendy Batts and I, Ken Miller here on Random Fit, we are talking about health, fitness, and seaweed. And I just want to make sure that that we're all on the same page when it comes to the fact that seaweed is seaweed. It's a plant that's grown in the ocean. But what we are trying to highlight for you is that when we talk about A, D, C, E, K, calcium, magnesium, and iodine, and all these benefits, they're actually related to the benefits of taking in these vitamins and minerals and these other components that we're trying to educate you on. And the fact, we're not just saying that seaweed will lower blood pressure. We're not saying seaweed will improve thyroid function. We're not saying that, but what we are saying is that these elements, these antioxidants, vitamins and minerals that we are talking about, these are the benefits of taking in those vitamins and minerals, which happen to be a big component of what makes up seaweed. And so just to make sure we're clear, we're not claiming medical health advantages of taking in seaweed, but what we are trying to highlight is that all these things that have proven benefits for health and longevity just happen to be contained in this one wonderful, delicious plant that we happen to be able to harvest from the ocean. I'm just saying all this. I just love seeing.
Very good point.
I just love seeing the reaction on your face, Wendy. That's all.
Yeah, I'm trying, but that actually brings us to kind of one of the last part I want to talk about, because this is what I hit Ken with. All right, I tried the snack. There are different types of flavored seaweed that are out there, and maybe I just got the wrong flavor, the one that just did not work for me. Okay, there are plenty of other options out there for me to try, and if I can find one that I like, it really would be a healthy go-to snack. It's super portable. It's very small. It's crunchy if you like the crunch. I'm a big crunch fan because I love chips. So trying to get off of chips, thinking maybe seaweed was the way to go. But Ken, you started talking about different ways that you sprinkle in seaweed to the things that you eat in your household. So I need you to enlighten me. What are things that I can do, or our listeners who are maybe like me, have a sensitive palate, and seaweed is one that's going to have to grow on me. So, why don't you talk to me a little bit?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you do, when you go to let's say a Japanese restaurant, do you do miso soup at all?
I do the soups with the mushrooms that are floating around.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like tofu. Yeah. So sometimes they'll do, let's say, a beef or chicken broth and have tofu in there, and they'll put, you might see a little green flake in there every now and then. That's seaweed, right? So, and I bring that up because you might have been consuming it and you just didn't realize. You just didn't realize it. But from that vantage point, wakame, you can sprinkle it on your rice. As far as the furikake goes, so it's seaweed with other things like sesame, things like that. So I mean, it's easier than you think, Wendy. But I mean, first of all, you don't want to be miserable. I mean, it's not for everybody, I'll admit, but it's for me. I enjoy it. I love it. It's delicious. But before we move on to our next point, when it comes to health, fitness, and seaweed, I just want to let you guys know that this episode of Random Fit is brought to you by NASM 1, the membership for trainers and coaches. Members enjoy unlimited access to hundreds of career resources. Get the Edge app to schedule and program clients. Enjoy half off all certifications and specializations, access free CEUs, and more. All this for just $35 a month. Go to NASM.org/membership to learn more about NASM 1. So Wendy, back to other recipes Wendy enjoys with seaweed. That would be the title of a book that would.
Yes.
One page.
Nope. Roasted seaweed, not for me. That would be the title of it. However, It is as a fitness professional, it's good for us to know the different types of foods and things that are going to be very beneficial to our clients,
Yep.
especially clients that are looking for weight loss, looking for weight management. Even again, I do have my nutrition coaching certification. I am not a registered dietitian, so I don't make meal plans. That's not something that I do. But however, I open up different suggestions of things for people to try, especially if it's going to hit their goals and there's going to be a lot of benefits behind it. So this would be something that I would definitely tell fitness professionals you want to try. Or if you're listening and you're one of our fitness enthusiasts, first of all, we appreciate you listening, but it's one of those things that it is very, very beneficial for somebody that needs a low calorie snack, something that needs to be portable and on the go. You can there's a ton of different options out there. Again, especially somebody that's on weight management, that is something that you can do because it's very nutrient rich and it's good for post recovery as well. So if you had a really hard workout and you're looking for something that's healthy as an alternative, along with some of the maybe other things that you're taking in, such as a recovery drink, some sort of protein drink, then maybe they go hand in hand. Maybe you're finding the right combo for you. But I think it's important too, as fitness professionals, to know that this is an option, something that you could easily suggest to your clients, maybe for them to try. If you're like Ken, they're going to love you. If they're like me, they're going to be like, what did I do to you? Like, what, why? But I think it's important too, to think about looking up recipes, trying some of the different stuff, because we've just spent the last almost 22 minutes talking to you guys about all the benefits and making consumers aware. Like, not only is it good for the environment, not only is it something that we see often, but all the benefits that come with it. I think it's super important.
Yep. So give it a whirl if you have
give it a whirl.
But if you're like me, like I when I eat out at a restaurant and I'm having my wakame salad, I mean, I did it for the taste. And yeah. But now I realize that, okay, I'm doing more for myself than I realized I was doing. So that's it. So Wendy, thanks for your insight.
I realized what I was doing to my health as well.
You were catering to your palate. I understand. All right. So for those of you listening to us here on Random Fit, thank you so much for your time and attention. We do appreciate you guys so much. Like, follow, subscribe, download. Let us know what you want us to talk about on future episodes. And I guarantee if it's up to Wendy, we're not talking about seaweed anymore, or recipes with seaweed. Maybe the health benefits, yes. But let us know what you want to talk about on other episodes. And until next time, everybody, take care and be well.